Hello everybody, my name is Hexen, bringing you another TAA, Tribes Ascent Analysis commentary. Today we're going to be looking at the Soldier class, playing with the Spinfuser, Eagle Pistol, and Proximity Grenade on the map Drydock. The role we are fulfilling today is neither defensive nor offensive, but more of a Rover type position, meaning you are going to be all over the map. You're going to spend equal amounts of time on your side of the map, on the enemy side of the map, in the middle of the map, and you want to be identifying threats based on priority. You're going to be going after the radar, the turrets, snipers, anything that's a threat to your team. It's your job to take care of. For example, midfield snipers. They are such a pain in the ass to deal with on this map because they have such a wide view. They can not only watch their own flag stand, but also fire upon yours depending on where they are on the map. As you saw me kill that guy in the background, he had a very advantageous position. He could watch both his flag stand and ours and be just as effective at offense as defense. Something else you want to be aware of is this elevated terrain in the center of the map that separates the flag stand. It is perfect for juggernauts and shellers, brutes using the heavy spinfuser to take out turrets. You always want to be checking this area of the map because it is such a great spot to sit as a juggernaut brute and just constantly spam the flag stand. You also want to make sure that one area of the map doesn't have your undivided attention. You always want to be moving constantly in motion around the map. You want to be checking not only the high ground but the low ground, especially on Drydock, because both offer great positions to either snipers or juggernauts and shellers, neither of which you want to allow to stay up unchallenged. You always want to make sure that you're checking every area of the map at least once every 3 or 4 minutes. You want to move around the top, move around the bottom, make sure your base is clear, make sure the enemy base, well, you can't make sure the enemy base is clear, but you can harass them to where they're not actively shelling your own base. You want to be sure that nobody is left unchallenged to just have free reign over your teammates or your base. Snipers or juggernauts, they can both be devastating on this map because even after you kill them, they can often move right back depending on where they spawn. So you always want to have an eye on every area of the map in Drydock. Something else you should always be thinking about, that should always be running through your mind as you're playing this playstyle, is where the team, your team, needs you the most. If you have more people on defense than on offense, then you want to be on offense, attacking the enemy flag stand and the enemy base. You are essentially a peg that fills in the hole wherever the leak may spring. You want to be adapting to your team's needs on a dynamic basis, meaning that you're not fulfilling any particular role for any length of time. You want to be aware of what's going down on the map, where the bulk of your teammates are, and where they need you to be. In the background you saw me shelling the radar dish, which is a viable strategy. Keeping the radar down and keeping the enemy team blind is effective, and if it's not being done by any of your other teammates, that's where you want to be. That's what you want to be doing, is taking down the radar. If your flag stand is not being watched, if your flag stand is just completely open and the enemy team is getting cap after cap, then you should probably be devoting more of your time to defense. Not all of your time, but you want to have more of a defensive mind or defensive mindset than an attacking mindset, if that's what's happening in the game. So now I'm going to talk about why you even see me playing with this setup and this loadout, the Soldier, the Spinfuser, Eagle Pistol. And yeah, I did want to demonstrate a particular type of role that you're fulfilling on the battlefield, which is the Soldier Rover on Drydock, but also it's because I've played with nothing else for the past week and a half. The Soldier and this weapon in the background here, this Spinfuser, I have devoted almost 100% of my time to. This is something that I want to master because, in my opinion, while being one of the most flexible roles in the game, it can also be one of the most devastating roles in the game. Whenever I sit down to play Tribes Ascend these days, this is what I'm playing as, the Soldier with the Spinfuser and Eagle Pistol setup. What I'm about to say is going to be very opinionated. It is not a strategy, it is not even an observation of a strategy or commentary on a strategy, but more of a reflection of my own abilities in this game. I feel that if I could master the Spinfuser, and more specifically the mid-air, that I could be one of the best players in this game. The Spinfuser is the quintessential Tribes weapon, and it carries with it a certain elegance that an automatic weapon like the assault rifle or the chain gun or an SMG just doesn't have. There's something very appealing to me about mastering this weapon. It has a higher learning curve and a more steady learning curve than any of the automatic weapons do. And while I personally do better with automatic weapons, I feel like it's not taking full advantage of my skills in the game. And yeah, that sounds extremely arrogant to say I could be one of the best players in the game, that I feel the spinfuser is more elegant than the assault rifle. There's nothing wrong with using the automatic weapons. They are more viable in competitive play than the spinfusers are, and that's been a known fact for quite a while. But as I said, there's just something about mastering this weapon that appeals to me, and it's something that I want to devote time to, and it's something that I do want to master eventually. I have already seen my skill increase with this setup over the last week. The scoreboard is a testament to that. Granted, this is only a regular old pub match, but there is something to it. As long as you practice with it, I feel like over time it's a much steadier learning curve, and it's a much more rewarding experience once mastered. And who knows, maybe it all comes down to that rewarding cha-ching that you get from killing somebody with a midair. As I said, I really couldn't tell you what made me sit down and want to master this weapon, but I will say again that I find it a more rewarding experience, and you can see yourself progressively getting better with this weapon more clearly than you can with a automatic weapon like an assault rifle or an SMG. And getting those kills with the spinfuser just feels more satisfying to me when I play. The Eagle pistol, not a favorite of mine, probably one of my least favorite secondaries out of the game for any class. I find it to be very finicky, but that doesn't mean that it's not without merit. It does 100 damage per shot up close, meaning that you can take down a light if you're very accurate. However, accuracy is something I can't seem to really pin down with this weapon. Sometimes I have to lead just in front of them to get hits. Sometimes I have to be dead center to get hits. And I think ping plays a part of it, so it's something that I still need to work with. For the grenade, the jury is still out. I have not come to a definitive conclusion as to which grenade is best. In this video, you saw me playing with the proximity grenade because I wanted a more viable dueling option, and generally speaking, the proximity grenade is a better dueling weapon when facing one-on-one with somebody else. The AP grenade is better for clearing clusters of enemies, like with a flag stand or in a generator room, something of that nature. Not the most flexible grenade because it doesn't do damage to vehicles, but it does deal massive damage to biological targets. And then the regular old frag grenade that you start out with is kind of a mix between the two. I still haven't come to a consensus yet on which one of these is my favorite. They're all viable for different scenarios, but as far as an overall go-to solution for every single engagement, I really haven't decided yet. The same goes for the pack. In this particular video, I had the energy pack running because I wanted to be more mobile. I wanted that extra motion to be able to fly up to the high ground if need be, or fly back down to the low ground, or get on top of the ships where the snipers were located. So for Drydock, to me it made the most sense to pick the energy pack, but the utility pack also has definite merit and value behind it. The armor is fully upgraded per usual, and the perks I decided to go with were Bounty Hunter, because I wanted those extra credits to put towards orbitals and tacticals. I'm not upgrading turrets or radar, and I'm specifically pooling my money to use on tactical and orbital strikes. For my secondary, it always seems like I'm going with Survivalist. It's a favorite of mine. I'm a little bit biased at this point. I feel that it's just the best all-around secondary perk in the game. Unless you're trying to do something specific, there really is no reason to pick anything else. My name is Hexen. I'd like to thank you guys for watching today. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe for more Tribes of Sin content.